And let's see, share. You guys should be able to see that. See how nice and clean? Okay, everybody sees it?
Yes.
Nice and clean. Okay,
Fantastic. Thank you.
And Louis, by the way, I sent you this will earlier, but I don't know why you didn't get it.
I don't know what happened. And
With
Tom
the
was there.
explanation of
And-
everything.
I know Tom helped me to set it up again. So now I got it on my desktop, so I ain't gonna lose it. All right. So where were we? We went through the belt of the zodiac, correct? We've done all the signs. Okay. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to be talking about the moon in all signs of the zodiac. But first, let's stop this for a second. Okay. The moon. The moon happens to be a little bit more than a dead rock hanging above your head for the sake of beauty. And again, God did not create the moon for Elon Musk business purposes. Okay, there's much deeper reason for the moon to be part of the celestial family.
Dr. Tori, sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
think we stopped at Libra yesterday.
Yes.
We didn't do the whole zodiac.
Oh, this is what I thought. Yeah, I thought I was supposed to start with Scorpio. Is that correct?
Correct. You're right.
Yes.
Okay. Torania, you didn't mention me.
Yes, I did. I said it many times. I said you need to start with Scorpio.
Oh, there you go. So my mind is so guilty ahead of time that I messed up. I apologize. So we're gonna go back.
No, we're paying attention.
We're gonna go back and carry on after everything is done. We're gonna get into the moon and we're gonna be talking about every single position of the moon through the belt of the zodiac. Okay, so that's next. Okay, so let's bring back the chart. You guys see it? Is there on the top? I want to start. I want to make sure it's there. Everybody can see it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we're going to be talking about Scorpio. I mean, the energy of Scorpio out of all the signs is the most obvious, mostly because it is such a powerful sign. It is ruled by Pluto. Now you see the P and the L, the symbol for Scorpio, P and the L, stand for Percival Lewis, which happens to be an astrologer who discovered the planet long time ago. Okay, again, modern astrologers are saying that Pluto was not a planet, is a dwarf planet, whatever, and then they've been congregating together somewhere in Europe. This bunch of idiots, half of the people was not there. I remember that day because I was so pissed off, so excuse my French. And that's where they decide out of the blue through their authority that Pluto was not a planet. And then of course you saw me writing left and right, trying to make them aware that Pluto is a planet, regardless of what the scientific educated idiocy dictate. And again, I was right, because as the technology improved over the years, they realized it's a big rock. It is a planet, okay? So that tells you that the scientific community, egocentric attitude is bigger than the universe, and they would never apologize for their mistakes. They would never retract their the comment that they make about Pluto, and of course Pluto is pissed off. So anyway, Pluto or Scorpio is the same thing. When I say Mars or Aries, it's the same thing. When I say Saturn and Capricorn, it's the same thing. When I say the moon or Cancer, it's the same thing. I want you to understand each planet and the sign is the same thing. Okay, there is different drawing, put it this way, but it's the same. You see, if you see the goat, if you see Saturn, and if you see that symbol, it's the same thing, right? There is no difference. This in Sagittarius is the same thing. That's why I put it all together, okay? And you have the meaning on each house. It's pretty clear. I just use a couple words, okay? But there's much more to it. So Scorpio, wherever Scorpio is in the chart, or where Pluto is in your chart for that matter, that's where life and death, where I can reach you, okay? So The element of Scorpio, or the soul's purpose of the Scorpio, is very simple. Is to use the Plutonic power positively or suffer the consequences by stinging yourself. Since the Scorpio rules life and death, it regulates anything that involves the rebirthing process, the worm in the water transforming into a butterfly, the reincarnation process. It rules high metaphysics, investigation, the police, the criminal elements. It rules anything to do with the CIA, and of course, Russia is a Scorpio country. Okay. And it's not surprising when the tail of the dragon moved in Scorpio early last year. I was warning everybody on YouTube, be ready. I see something happening with Russia and Putin, because I knew the dragon was going to get on top of that country. And the signature is a hell of a lot of death since then, and I was right again. Okay, so it's very simple. You just look at the dragon, you look at the sign, you look at the country, and you know the country is going to go through a rebirth, often very, very painful, involving drama, death, and secret, and God knows what the negative scorpion or the lizard can bring to us. It's a sign that lives under the ground or lives in a hole. So that's why the Scorpio traditionally operates good at night. Okay, the ancients choose that sign because, again, during the old days, you're sleeping in a cave. There's nothing to nobody. In the middle of the night, you get stung and you die. Okay, Scorpio just stings, but he does. Okay, you all know the little story between the scorpion and the frog. The frog decided to cross the river and asked and then the scorpion heard her and said, "Hey, can I ride on your back?" And she says, "Yeah, if I do that, you have a stinger." So. I said, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to kill you myself. Okay, that's what he said. But such story is in the middle of the river. He did exactly what the frog thought he was going to do. And he stung her and they both drowned. Okay, so understand the energy of Pluto is extraordinarily powerful. It represents, again, the criminal that will kill you when you're pumping gas to steal $5 you have in your pocket that day, or it regulates using a knife, or it regulates, again, a surgeon born in November that will kill a cancer cell or a cancer tumor through his aptitude in knowing where the cancer is and how to destroy it. Okay, so that tells you the black and white. Scorpio is no yellow, it's black and white. He likes you, he doesn't. Okay. So remember, every one of you is a Scorpio, in reference to my good friend Tom being born in February. Tom is a Scorpio in his 10th house of career. And that's why being involved in all sorts of secrecy, involved in spying, the information that Tom has, nobody has, okay, during his time in the Army or the Navy, wherever he was. So you're talking about his aptitude to get something dead and put it back alive and investigate through his career. But you could be any sign of the zodiac in terms of a Pisces, you see, 7, 8, 9. This is where I am at my most powerful. That's where I regenerate. When I teach you guys, that's where I have the power. I have the power to get many of you from one level and bring you to another. In other words, from the lizard to the eagle. Make sense? So wherever you have that Scorpio, it is extraordinarily powerful, and you're strongly advised to be cautious in the affairs in the house regulated by Pluto or Scorpio. All right, now we understand the energy of Scorpio, sorting out the majority of all the criminals that are rotting in jail, all dead for that matter, who were born in November. We are talking about Brian Gunnager, this guy who killed his 5 kids. We're talking about Brian Laundrie, who strangled his girlfriend. You're talking about Charles Manson. God knows what. You know, if you read The Power of the Dragon, I have a collection of some of the outmost infamous killers that have Scorpio. And then we can right now refer to Jeffrey, the guy who used to eat people. What is his name? What's his first name again?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer was born in May, right? So you see how he faces the world as a Scorpio, okay? He faces the world as a Scorpio. So he was horny like hell, obviously. And since he was born with the tail of the dragon in the sign of Pisces, you see the tail was here. He used drugs and alcohol and all sorts of things. And then he went berserk and he started to eat people. It's a long story. But again, I also wrote about Jeffrey Dahmer. You don't have to be born in November to be a top killer or a serial killer. You just have to look at where Scorpio or Pluto is in the charts, and then you'll know exactly what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a natural born killer. If the lizard takes over, and that depends on the upbringing, depend on the experience, depend on where the tail is located. And of course, since Pluto and my work has been hijacked by the reptilians, okay, that's where they live, okay, they operate from this planet and through dark matter, reach the mind, the body, and the soul of human being and turn them into zombies, killers, or whatever. And at the end, they kill themselves. So that is extraordinarily powerful. It is, to me, apart from the sun, one of the most powerful is darkness. And the sun is light and that's darkness, okay? All right. November represents, of course, the time of the year where things are dying. Okay, November, it's the winter, or beginning of the winter. Okay, now you talk to Tara now about the equinox and all that stuff. She's the one who knows about it. Me, I use my intuition, works my way. She's more rational. Okay, so in the second house of money, you're going to see why Scorpio happens to be a combination of both Cancer. Cancer, remember, is the body of water. Scorpio as a grand trine, you see the grand trine with the water sign. Scorpio is the more murky, dark water of a lake, okay, where there is monsters reside. And then you have the ocean, which is where the immensity of the spiritual values, if you swim upstream, is given to you. So you're talking about the element of water. You see, it's a water sign. Okay. It is also fixed, meaning the fixity of purpose of the Scorpio is unbelievably strong. Okay, it's non-mutable. He's not going to change his mind. Okay, and he doesn't only want to build; he can also destroy. So he's very fixed. So if you got an argument with a Scorpio, be prepared. Be prepared to fight to the death, or don't bother. Okay, that's why when people challenges me in my teaching, I know who I am. I know I have the power, okay? And the real thing, that's why I can be very direct, very honest, and it'd be very difficult if somebody challenge me on my wisdom, for them to win the battle. They're not going to win because I know what I'm talking about. And then you will feel the same. It's fixed and strong and very supremely confident where this sign is by house, okay? All right, so in the second house of money, now you have Sagittarius, okay? Remember, Sagittarius is a fire sign. You see the grand trine, okay? Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. The red fire, the wild red fire gets a little bit more warm, hotter, and a little bit more refined into the sign of Leo, and it becomes golden into the sign of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is the energy of Aries and Leo combined together, the highest area, okay? As well as Taurus, just to refresh your memory, I told you I was going to go back. Taurus is a fixed sign. Taurus is Scorpio by mutual reception, okay? Taurus is a earth sign, so you can go into the grand trine of the earth sign. You can see Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that's the muddy, earthy sign, getting much more refined in Virgo, which deals with details and organization and health. And he gets his total power into the sign of Capricorn, which is nothing else than the Taurus and the Virgo combined together. But you got the best in this sign. As far as the earthy element, that's why Capricorn build. And then we're going to go back again before going back into the second house to Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. You can see Libra, Aquarius, the grand trine in the air sign. Gemini is blah, 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 blah. He's talking, communicating, changing ID, being curious. He gets much more refined into the Libra, who balances the energy. And then he gets his stop into the world of Aquarius. So Aquarius is a combination, Gemini and Libra best into one. Understood?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about, the signs. And Gemini, again, is a mutable sign. Libra is a cardinal sign. Aquarius is a fixed sign. So it belongs to the fixity of purpose. And if you make a square, you can see Scorpio is square. It's fixed. Aquarius is fixed. And you go down to another square, and you go Taurus is fixed, and you go to another one here. Okay, fixed. That's the fixed sign. Okay, now we're going to go into the mutable. You go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, the square again. You got another mutable sign. You got another mutable sign, Virgo, and another mutable sign right here. Okay, and then you have the cardinal again. 1, 2, 3, 4, cardinal, cardinal fire, cardinal water, cardinal air, and cardinal earth. Okay. All right. So these are the elements. Okay, so in the second house of money, Scorpio is being blessed by this guy here. What is the name of this guy here?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Okay. What does Jupiter rules traditionally?
Australia, open spaces.
That's good, but it's actually regiment 9th house. Okay. He controlled the 9th house of higher education. That tells you that Scorpio very often takes a lot of education. They educate themselves, okay? Sometimes it's traditional, sometimes it's not. And it's kind of dangerous for some of them who will use religion, for example, to make money, and they become fanatics. And you're talking about the Taliban, you're talking about ISIS, okay? It's how they build themselves, their self-esteem. They are ready to die for the world of Sagittarius also. It's just trying to explain how the Sagittarius area works for Scorpio. But traditionally, outside of religious negative energy or the lizard, Scorpio tend to educate themselves traditionally and get very, very high in life. Since Jupiter is the lord of lack and expansion, the biggest planet in our solar system, he brings a hell of a lot of money to Scorpio. Okay? Understand Sagittarius. And you will notice also that the lizards love to gamble. Yeah? Game of luck. Remember, Sagittarius rules game of luck. Okay, so they could throw $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 of a nose of a horse. Sagittarius. Okay, I've noticed that over the years. I had a lot of friends born in November. When they go to Vegas and the casino, they sit on that table and they just. It's unbelievable, but they get lucky. They get lucky. Jupiter is there. Okay, somewhere, somehow they are lucky when it comes to make money. All right. Sometimes the money is made also by becoming a vet. Remember, education. Okay, and then save the lives of animals. Scorpio has to die and rebirth, and whatever he touches, dying and rebirthing. Okay. All right. So that money is also spent to travel. Sagittarius, okay, gambling, education, religion, for good or for worse. Just pointing out how the self-esteem and the financial value as far as Scorpio is concerned. In the mind, look at that, 1, 2, 3. I mean, you're dealing with the most rational, the most practical, the coldest sign of the zodiac. So don't expect the Scorpio to tell you what you want to hear, because there is heartless. He doesn't feel anything. Okay, he just sees, and he's a master of observance. So education can be attributed for their drive to build a tower, to work for the government, to build their own corporation, God knows what. The mental process of a Scorpio is extraordinarily rational. I mean, you're talking about the top of all the signs in the housing system with Scorpio, okay? So at the same time, since Capricorn is seen by the Christian as the head of the devil, Satan, they just would do anything they have to do to get what they want, And this is not exaggerated. Scorpio will do anything and everything in his power since he is fixed to get what he wants. Okay. All right. So many of them become engineers. You will notice, I've noticed over the year again, a lot of Scorpio are so rational, so practical, that they're going to look at you and say, what? Astrology? What the hell is that? They do not understand that they are the sign of metaphysics. That is the lizard, of course, not exactly gifted with intuition, but they get it somewhere else. It's just amazing how it works. All right. So many of them also turn into mathematicians, engineers. Okay. They are led to work for the government, the Army, the Navy, the FBI, the CIA, and all that good stuff that Capricorn rules. And of course, Capricorn rules also the Illuminati and anything to do with the government. So you're talking about a sign. Scorpio rules conspiracy. He doesn't trust anything. He doesn't trust anybody, especially conspiracy involving the government. All right. Okay, let's go into the home area of a Scorpio at home. Who is a Scorpio at home? Okay. No, Terania, answer that.
Who is a Scorpio at home?
Yes. What does he become?
Cancer? No.
Nope. You guys need to go back here.
Oh, Cancer.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
no.
Gemini.
No. Okay. Time up.
Taurus.
When I ask what is a sign in one house, you need to go right back here. I told you before.
Oh, a Leo. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Terania, no, honey. No, honey.
How
no.
about answer for Aquarius?
I think I can answer it. Is it that the Scorpio becomes very protective of his home, and is that one of the connections?
No, Scorpio at home.
Isn't Cancer very focused on being domestic and feeding and all that?
Exactly. Okay, now
Just housing,
at home,
family.
1, 2, 3, 4. We know that he is an Aquarius, correct? Now bring the other chart. Watch, 4th house. See number 4. You read here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you're bringing the element of Cancer into that house too. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th house traditionally, when I say traditionally, that means you got to use the other chart. Traditionally, it is ruled by Cancer, correct? Do you guys understand that?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. Traditionally, this is the traditional chart. We're never going to get away from that. You need to have this picture in your head. When I say house number 4, it is home, it's family, is ruled by Cancer, water, the moon, intuition, feelings. Okay, that's why I want you to get those keywords so you understand what the 4th house is, and immediately you connect with Cancer. Okay, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the home of a Scorpio. He becomes an Aquarius. Okay. Since Scorpio is extraordinarily private and very, very traditional in the mental process, dealing with astrology ain't going to be in the public. They're going to do it in the privacy of their home. And in their home, that's where God is allowing them to bypass the earth, to bypass the emotion or the religious, which is water, and become curious, intellectual, because now you're talking about the element of air. Okay. And I know it can be very confusing. You just started this class. You're not going to get that reflex now. It might take you another, 3 days. Maybe you're going to start to get it. The quicker you master the housing system, the traditional housing system. Okay. If I say 7th house, what it means? Oh, marriage, partnerships, contract. You got to sign. The sign tells you what it is. And you have the number right here. Okay. So when I say what rules traditionally the 4th house, all you got to do is go to 4 and then you realize, oh, it's Cancer. Okay. So now you have Aquarius, which means that's where God is allowing the Scorpio to learn anything about the universe, to learn about astrology, to read about UFOs, because he doesn't want anybody to think he's a cuckoo. Okay, so it's at home. that God is allowing him to be a weirdo, because anybody which is born in February, like me and Tom, we saw as weirdos or genius, if you know what the planet Uranus, which rules this sign, is all about. This planet is very eccentric, it's special. It rules the future. It rules New Age, astrology, UFOs. It rules anything to do with Japan. It rules the sudden release of energy, earthquakes, tornado, volcano, electricity, blah, 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 blah. You see the importance of having those keywords? It will make sense when comes the time to read somebody.
So then they're weirder at home than anyone else.
Exactly. So
How,
Scorpio.
I don't think so. I think we're the two weirdest people.
Well, no, there is more to it. Anybody born in November, believe me, Jiraya, will not talk openly, publicly to astrology. They are too private. It's only at home that God is allowing them to be weird.
Right,
Wherever you have Uranus or Aquarius, you gotta be weird. You gotta be special. You're gonna be out of the box. You can't be a religious fanatic, and you cannot be an atheist. Not into the world of Aquarius. You're too curious. You have in you the mixture of the blah 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 extraordinary curious Gemini and the balancing energy of a Libra in one sign. Do you understand?
Yes.
Steve, sorry to interject. Just on the family side, just the family in that house of Aquarius, would that be a balanced family, so to speak, in terms of their relationship, or would it be, more on the family side? How would that relationship with the family?
Aquarius is not exactly family. It's a tiger. Tiger lives in the wild by himself. Remember the Chinese horoscope? Okay.
Yes.
Aquarius rules the tiger. Tiger is not domestic. Okay. Aquarius is not exactly domestic. Okay. All I'm trying to say, but because Cancer rules the fourth house, and this is the fourth house, 1, 2, 3, 4, it allows them to be domestic, at least to feel a little bit of domesticity. But as far as the upbringing of a Scorpio, it's pretty tumultuous, because Aquarius is the sudden release of energy. The parents can be different. There is all sorts of karmic energy that involve the life of a Scorpio. The Scorpio's source purpose is to die and rebirth eternally all their lives. So that can already start on the nucleus at home, having such an energy which is not exactly like a Cancer or like a Pisces or like a Taurus. You're talking about a very independent, weird sign, and that is the upbringing.
DT, would that be hot or cold? One extreme to the other, so to speak?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But the idea is to understand that at home, Scorpio is allowed to be a cuckoo. That's the best way for me to tell you, because they're so rational, they're so practical in so many ways, that the only way they're going to reach the divine is through the privacy of their home, because the sign of Aquarius is wherever you have Aquarius, that's where, as I said earlier, you have to dig into the stars, you have to be special, you have to deal with technology. Okay. So that they picked also that Scorpio at home are using technology to spy. It doesn't have to be just about the affairs of home. Remember, Scorpio is a spy, is Russia. And then through technology at home, they have all sorts of technology. Technology to an Aquarius is like candy to a child. Okay, it's like me. If I see, look, this is the last thing that I bought. You know what that is? It's a camera. You put it here.
Can't see.
Because I was born in February on the cusp. I also have the Aquarius, the Scorpio 10th house. From on the Pisces side, I am the teacher. Okay, I'm a Scorpio, but I'm on the cusp. You can't forget. I only have my sun here, and I have all my planets here. I have a stellium here, so I'm on the cusp. Okay, so that's reading a double chart. I don't want to confuse you just yet. We're not doing double chart. I'm just pointing out that if you're an Aquarius, you're gonna like technology. Just ask Tom. Man, you should see his office. Jeez, camera everywhere. You got stuff everywhere. It's crazy. It's a true Aquarius.
They must have great sex, DT. They must have great sex.
Weird. Now you're saying it.
Yeah, kinky sex or something at home.
Well, we are not in the sex house, but at home, this is not the house of sex. The house of sex is here. Okay. But as you said, kinky, yeah. Anytime you have Aquarius, you have weird and kinky. That's a nice word. I'm studying that. I'm stealing that word from you. All right. Let's go into the fifth house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, what is the energy of the fifth house traditionally controlled by?
Sun.
Well, that you can go wrong is right here. Okay, give me something else. What is the fifth house control? Come on,
Leo.
guys.
Light.
Light. Come on. Someone else?
Love. Entertainment.
Love, yes.
Children.
Hollywood.
Children. Hollywood.
Romance.
Drama, yes. Love, light, children.
Ego.
Fame, the
Fairs.
stage. Huh? Excuse me?
Right.
Spain, Portugal.
Anything to do with the fifth house is all about love, light, creativity, and children. Remember, that's where a woman creates a child or a man create a business or vice versa. Okay? It's speculation. Remember the keywords, speculation, things that you like to do. It is also the seat of attraction between human beings. I already told you a million times, but I will keep telling you a million times until you get it. The fifth house is the seat of attraction between human beings, is the house of love, creativity, children, speculations. Okay, and it's ruled by France, it's ruled by Leo rules France, and blah, 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 blah. You can go there if you want to. Okay, so in the house of love and romance, the most powerful sign of the zodiac, the most practical, down-to-earth, kinky sign of the zodiac happens to be the weakest one here, okay? Weakest if it swims downstream, okay? Meaning, Scorpio in the affairs of love is all about emotion, because Pisces has no grounding, no water. It's all about feeling and emotion. So if you mingle with a Scorpio, the intensity of his emotion is a representation of all the signs combined together, for good or for worse. That's why you don't mess around with the heart of a Scorpio, because you are going to go through his soul, through his heart, being extraordinarily sensitive, the most sensitive sign of the zodiac, Pisces. Whatever you have in the sign of Pisces, you're going to be like a piece of butter. You're going to be so very easily hurt, because that's the way it is. Okay. So that's why I said earlier, it is critical if you mingle with a Scorpio, and you could see what happened. Okay. The imagination gets out of order. The imagination get going. They think they own you. For what reason? If they are attracted to you, they have no practicality in this sign. They just have feelings and emotions that are overwhelming. You guys understand what I'm saying? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Pisces. So it is normal for a Scorpio to attract a water sign. This is basically how it works. A Scorpio will run after a Pisces. A Pisces will run after a Cancer, and a Cancer will run after a Scorpio. This is to make you aware how the energy of attraction works. Aries will run after a Leo will run after a Sagittarius, and a Sagittarius will run after an Aries. Okay, that's the best way to explain to you. A Taurus will run after a Virgo. Virgo will run after a Capricorn, and a Capricorn will run after a Taurus. Gemini will be tremendously attracted to a Libra, but Libra will be much more attracted to an Aquarius, and Aquarius will be very attracted to the weird Gemini. This is the seat of attraction between human beings. Okay. Pisces. My mom was a Pisces, a Scorpio. Okay. She was the most creative woman on the planet. She was a painter. She painted and painted and painted. Of course, she never took a lesson because she didn't have to. She had it in herself. You're not going to teach Michael Jackson to sing and dance or Tyson to fight. You got to have it inside. Okay. So, in fact, she painted. One day she brought me in a private room, because Scorpio are very private. You do not go into the privacy of their home. Okay, in their bedroom. If you have a child born in November, you better give him a key, because sooner or later he's going to say, "Hey, that's my room. Get out of here." Okay? They're extremely private. Okay, so when she let me go into a art room, nobody was allowed to go there, but she was painting and listening music, and she was a Pisces in creativity, the art. And then she said, I painted that for you, Louis. I said, oh my God. The painting, and I have to go to France and pick it up because she passed it now. And the painting is a representation of life at the bottom of the ocean as she saw it. She painted fish that don't even exist. The colors, the water, that was, I think, and she gave it to me. She said, that one is for you. She painted for every one of a child. Obviously, I'm a Pisces. My mom was also a very, very well-known psychic. Okay? Fifth house, speculations. She liked the spirit. She liked psychic work. She liked painting. So a lot of Scorpio are phenomenal artists. In fact, I have a good friend of mine. He's an Apache chief. Okay. And he just had an exposition of his art in California. He's born in November. You should see the type of artwork this guy is producing. So pay attention. Pisces is the most sensitive, emotional, creative, ungrounded type of sign. He lives with God already, Pisces. Okay. And that is very dangerous now because the fixity of purpose of a Scorpio can go all the way down. ISIS, the Taliban. Do you understand why they are a religious fanatic? And most of them are Scorpio who want to die for their religion because they swim downstream. You understand the importance of teaching this to a child born in November. Make sure it swims upstream towards the stars and not towards war, Aries, you see? You don't want to swim towards war because of your religion, but because so many people have died over the century because swimming downstream. No, you want to go up to the stars as a child of the universe. That's where you came from. Okay, you understand this house? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Okay, I want to make sure that
Affirmative.
if you don't understand, let me know, and I go back to it and I add more information. Okay, you know, if I jump from one side to the other one and you're still behind, it's not good. You have to let me know. Hey, Dr. Chiri, I need to hear about that. So understand what I'm saying. Okay, a lot of Scorpios so works in the water. Okay, not just a Pisces. I'm a boat captain, but don't get me wrong. A Scorpio can also be a boat captain. You bet he can. Because he's a Pisces and the speculation, creativity house. I was at the school when I was learning to become a boat captain in Alabama. And I was dealing with like 2 or 3 guys that were born in November. And one of them was a teacher. And he was a Scorpio. I remember, in fact, I have a picture of him. He's got a huge beard and long hair. It's on my Facebook page. All right. Anything
So why was he teacher?
Who?
Why was he a teacher? The Scorpio?
He was a captain. He was teaching the laws of the roads, as we say, but he was teaching the laws of the seas.
Ah, okay. So worked as the captain. Okay.
Yeah, he worked as a captain because he's a Pisces in his speculation house. So I'm giving you a tip, but you can use your imagination too. Okay, this is the result of all my life observing people and observing how the stars mold their destiny. Okay, all right. Let's go into the 6th house. Traditionally, what the 6th house rules? Come on.
Service to the world.
Service.
Wealth and health.
Service of the world is good. Who said that?
The Virgin, the intestines, green.
Okay, all right. Just say Virgo. Virgo. Okay. If I say traditionally, what rules the 5th house? You get into the 5th house and you look here. If I say in traditional chart, what rules the 6th house? You go here. Virgo. That's the answer I'm looking for. Okay. Now, all the rest are attributes that the keywords that I want you to build. But you need to know immediately the 6th house is controlled by Virgo. The 10th house is controlled by Capricorn. The 12th house is controlled by Pisces. The 2nd house is controlled by Taurus. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Now, do not take my way of teaching. Sometimes I can be a little bit rude, may appear rude. No, I'm very concerned. You guys paid me a lot of money, okay? And I want to make sure that you don't waste your investment. I promise you, you will not waste your money with me. At the end, you will have this reflex, okay? All right, 6 hours is ruled and controlled by Virgo. Now, Virgo is controlled by what planet?
Mercury.
Mercury.
Mercury, perfect. There is another sign which is controlled by Mercury. Which one is it?
Gemini.
Gemini.
There you go. You see it here. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you're doing very well. Okay, so in the sixth house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we are talking about work and health. Okay, service in the world. Okay, in this house, a Scorpio becomes what sign?
Aries.
Aries.
Exactly. I mean, the sixth house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is this? Aries. Okay. Remember, this is house number 1 because we're dealing with Scorpio. Okay. And that's number 12. That's 1. That's 2. Okay. So when I say what control the sixth house of a Scorpio, forget about the 8 because now it becomes 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aries is the answer that you need to give me. Okay. Hey, believe me, it will sink. You're not realizing just yet. The repetition is the key. Because you are learning only 12 energy. You just need to superimpose this. And it's what it takes time. That's what you're being trained to do. Okay. All right. Now, have you heard of Bruce Lee?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that Bruce Lee was a Scorpio?
Bruce Lee.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Do you know that Aries, what part of the body does Aries rules?
The head.
Head.
The head. Now, Bruce Lee was born with the tail of the dragon in Aries. Do you know how he died?
Something to the head.
He died of aneurysm. He was happy going, and all of a sudden, bam, he died. Okay.
And through fighting, which is Aries is fighting.
Well, that's what he was doing. He was a fighter. Yeah, he was kung fu fighter. Okay. He finally
I thought he died of cerebral edema.
and where that came from? Tell me.
Well, they surmise it was something he ingested.
From what I read, he died of something involving the brain. And that is given through the world of Aries, okay? Because Aries was the head. Do that make sense?
Mhm.
Now, there is variation. I can just go through the medical aspects of my work, okay? And there is no denying that he was a fighter. Okay? And that's all there is right here. Have you heard of Larry King?
Yes.
Okay.
The Larry King show.
Yeah, Larry King was a Scorpio. You could see he made a lot of money. His mental process was formidable when he talked to people. He knew exactly what to ask. At home, he had a lot of electronics. At the end of his career, he had all the television in his house, literally. Okay. He was very emotional, very sensitive. He was maybe religious or whatever it is, I don't know. And you could see he was number 1. Aries is the leader, is number 1 in this field, very competitive. And that sometimes led him to take chances in war zone or discussing anything involving war. Very, very competitive man, Larry King. And in why did he change his name to King? Because in his 10th house, okay, you see the 7, 8, 9, 10. Leo,
He was
the
the-
king. He was the king. Okay. Just giving you an idea on how you check the stars of famous people and then realize sometimes it's so damn obvious, it's so real. That's why I'm so excited to teach you and cannot lose that wisdom. All right. So traditionally, Scorpio is prone to violent death because Aries is all about aggressivity, war, danger, machinery. And that's why many of Scorpio are involved into anything that involve fire. Firemen, they are not afraid to get into the fire. That's how they service the world. They service the world as a child who has no fear of anything, learn the hard way and sometimes get killed. They join the army, the navy, they involve the service to the world is dangerous. Okay, there is always an element of danger. A lot of stuntmen also are born in November. They have no fear, and then you go. They jump the Grand Canyon on a bike. I mean, you just have to use logic. Okay. Now, if the tail is in this house, well, you better pay attention because you're going to get killed. Okay, you got to be cautious not to jump after the full moon. All right, so it means also sometimes Scorpio will complain of headaches, problem with the eyes, definitely stitches on the head. Okay, accident prone, but very, very courageous, because Aries is the baby of the zodiac. He doesn't necessarily think, he just does. Okay, that's what Aries does. Okay, seventh house. How does a Scorpio faces the world? Scorpio, yes, perfect. Now, Scorpio don't face the world as Scorpio. No, they face the world on the opposite. Okay, they face the world as a Taurus. Now, if you remember, what is the key word for Taurus? Tell me.
Stubborn.
Stubborn is one way, yeah, but that's not a keyword. Yes.
Beauty, wealth,
solid,
minerals,
You don't know because I didn't tell you.
banking.
solidity.
That's all good. The keyword is I have, I own. You're
They wear lots of
mine.
jewelry.
You're mine. Taurus, possession, see? Money, possession. So they face the world as a bull. That's why a lot of Scorpio kill, because they become a bull. They are fixed. The partner belongs to me. You don't look at her or
Jealousy.
him, or I kill you. Yes. Possession,
Possession.
jealousy. You are a possession to a Scorpio. In the house of marriage, to them is only death do us part. That's why many of them kill each other's. Okay, killing the family, the children, the wife. No, they can't take it because the emotion is too strong. Okay, so being a Taurus in the seventh house means also, what does Taurus rules? Tell me.
Will do.
Banking,
Exactly,
mineral.
perfect. This means
Beauty.
exactly. This means Scorpio is prone to attract a beautiful wife who has a lot of money. Okay, they marry rich. There you go. Scorpio marry rich, or Taurus will marry same way. Okay, goes both way. So it's very, very critical. If you again are a partner in business or in love with a Scorpio, remember who he is talking to you. You are his property. And if anybody comes around here, the horn will kill you, because he happens to be the most dangerous animal you can get. Only a crazy guy would want to face a bull. All right.
My boss is a Scorpio. It's so difficult.
Well, yeah. Oh, they're very stubborn. Oh, like you can't change. And then since Scorpio is fixed and Taurus is fixed, and you know what you're dealing with. Okay. So you cannot marry a Scorpio and then 6 months later say goodbye, because you'll be in trouble, serious trouble. Okay. All right. So now, since Taurus was the throat, a lot of Scorpio are also singers. They work in a bank. They delegate with corporated money. It's all about solidity, security, magnetism, that very attractive. Sometimes as they face the world as Taurus, they can be also very attractive, not only on the physical level, but the giveaway of a Scorpio is his eyes. The eyes of a Scorpio are very magnetic. You piss off a Scorpio, you're going to have lightning coming out of their eyes. It's that where the power is, through the eyes, the magnetic look. Okay? You could see even my mother, I told her once, Mom, you bug me once. I don't know how the hell she did it. She grabbed the first thing that she had under her hand, which was a ball. And that thing flew all the way and hit me right here. That was the first and last time I said to my mom, you bug me. She was small. She was 4.5 feet when she had 9 kids. But man, was she tough.
Ooh, yes, she was.
Oh my God. True Scorpio. And all her life was about drama and death. She was fighting with the resistance against the German in France. I mean, she saw death all over the place. Her first husband was a Taurus and he died. It's a long story. All right, so here goes the bull on the 7th house. Okay, let's go into the 8th house. This is the house of death, the house of metaphysics and witchcraft. What traditionally controls the 8th house?
Scorpio.
Mercury.
Exactly. So in the house of death, Scorpio is a Gemini. That's why it's tough to kill a Scorpion, because they have two lives in one. Okay. So in many ways, you have to be cautious, because the house of death is controlled by Gemini. And what part of the body does Gemini rules?
The lungs.
Exactly. And this is why my mother died of what, Taranya? Do you remember what she died of?
COPD.
There you go. Okay. She smoked only, I've seen her smoking only for 2 months. I don't know why she decided to smoke. And that was enough to mess up her lungs. And she made it to 93 though. But be careful. The house, and my dad was born in May. Okay. And he died of TB, tuberculosis. Luckily for us, the doctor came a week later and inoculated the entire family against TB and another disease when I was growing up. And that's why I'm still alive today. So the house of death of Scorpio is directly in his lungs. Okay. That's why a lot of people with COVID born in November didn't make it. They are much more vulnerable, much more sensitive. But they don't know. No, they could be a rising in Scorpio. They don't know. And that's enough. Okay.
So DT, so does Gemini rule the lungs? Is it?
Yes. Gemini rules your hands, your feet. I mean, your hands, every motion, every moving part of your body is controlled by Gemini, which means your hand and your legs, like a horse, like 4 legs on your hands, and also the respiratory system, because Gemini is an air sign. Okay. So when you have the tail in the sign, it's like having Saturn. Saturn and the tail is a negative energy. It constricts the distribution and the building of the tiny vein that brings blood and oxygen in your lungs or in your brain if you have the tail in the brain. Those veins that also eliminate and bring foods, okay, is not working properly. Okay. So that's what's going on with Gemini. Gemini does not just rule your hands and your legs, it rules also your lungs. Okay. All right. Now, it's a dual sign. Okay. Now, remember, Gemini is also, since it rules, since Scorpio is controlled by Gemini, the spy. Okay. The house of death, they're spying. They are Americans and they hang around in Russia. You see? And this is the house of death. Oh, spying, investigating, being 2 people, being 1 person when actually you're in another. And that's all the house of death. That's why a lot of Scorpio are spy and they end up being killed. Okay? Spy. Now, on the more spiritual level, this is the corporated money, which means the money from the wife or the husband right here. So there's a lot of branches for a Scorpio partner business or emotional to make money. And Saint Taurus in the 2nd house is a Gemini writing. Scorpio can write or have a partner that write, or a partner that is involved, like Larry King, in communication and journalism. You see, that's Larry King, faces the world as a very wealthy man, very stubborn, very stable, been there forever. Okay, and he makes money being a journalist. Gemini, communication, writing, reading, talking, interviewing people. Make sense? Yes. All right, because Gemini. Sometimes it means also they are losing brothers. If you have a strong Plutonic energy in your chart, you might lose a brother or a sister, like it happened to me. I lose a brother, he was 15 years old, long story. He was born in June, okay? And he had the moon in Scorpio. And he died for nothing, literally, because he was helping my stepfather to help my other brother to rebuild his apartment. And my stepfather told him to go home and get a tool that he forgot. The tool was behind the door. He didn't see it. And my brother crossed the road and he was a drunk. Okay. And he got killed. He got killed. He was born with the tail of the dragon in Leo. So when you're born with the tail of the dragon in Leo, you don't usually live long if you're not careful. Okay. That's what happened to my brother. All right, let's go into the 9th house, okay? 7, 8, 9. What traditionally rules the 9th house?
Sagittarius.
Okay, foreigners, foreign land, foreigners, higher education. So a lot of Scorpio in the 9th house also make a lot of money getting involved with real estate. See, some of them become chef, depending if a Scorpio has the moon in Cancer, or a lot of planet in Cancer. Of course, he wants to cook, he wants to eat. You know, you have to use the full chart. But we don't know that. We're just reading through the housing system for now. We're going to get deeper in the reading to be more accurate. So in the 9th house, they educate themselves, and they become also investigator of the real estate. Another word, they become they don't sell house, they appraise the houses. Remember, they are engineer, they see everything, construction, building, they see everything, and then they make money also through the education involving the real estate, and they become appraiser. It's like just being an FBI of the real estate, judging the values of your property. Some become chefs, some becomes the caretaker. So since it was home and family, a lot of Scorpio have property on farming ground. Larry King had a house in the south of France, right? 9th house, home, family. The 9th house is foreigners and foreign land, okay? And they could also be, again, traditional. If the family raised them religiously, they're going to have a problem. They're going to swim downstream towards war, okay? All right. Okay, 9th house, Cancer. They will have friends also from foreign ground, or teachers from foreign ground that will they be very connected with. As incredible as it sounds, my teacher, when I was at school in Alabama, we're still connecting. He took me for dinner when I was there, because he was very much interested in what I was doing. So I taught him the secret of the moon, what it means to be a Scorpio, over dinner. He took me to dinner. So that's what they do when they treat you like family member. When you teach them, he taught me something. I told him, you taught me the laws of the ocean. I'm going to teach you the laws of the universe. And look at me and say, that's an interesting. And then he said, oh, by the way, I look at your name on the internet. He already checked my website. He already checked everything about me. And since he regenerated with metaphysics and investigation, we became very, very close. And we're still connecting. He gets all my mail. He watches all my videos and so forth. Okay, do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What we're going to do now, we're going to go into the 10th house. In all the sign of the zodiac, Scorpio is the sign which is more than any other sign fit to succeed, because that's where God wants them to shine. Larry King is a good example. Okay. Leo rules fame, the stage, light, children, creativity, speculation. And that's where, again, he was rewarded in his career by becoming Larry King. Now we can talk also about any person born in November. I mean, there is so many famous people born in November. You will realize who they are in their 10th house of career. You got to remember, wherever you have Leo.
King Charles.
Excuse me, honey?
King Charles.
Exactly. Charles. See,
He's a king.
He's a king. Exactly. Well, you said it. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. And you can see 1, 2, 3. Capricorn in the mind, England, structure, organization. His mother was born with the tail of the dragon in Capricorn. And since Capricorn is the longest sign, the longest living sign of the zodiac, she never died. So that's why he was a king late in life. Okay. So she was called, she was calculated. Okay. Very, very important that the royal follow the rules. That's why they had a conflict with the younger kids, especially the King Philip, no, not King Philip, the other one, what is his name?
Andrew.
Henry.
And Henry, he's a Virgo, the sign of work. He didn't want to be a king. He didn't want to be a king, okay? And he's not afraid to talk, to say the truth. That's why he says that he spit all the beans about the royal family. And he was born with the tail of the dragon in the 3rd house. So he could be killed, or he kill himself. And if it wasn't for his wife, Leo, which is breathing life into the Scorpio, okay, this kid would already have killed himself because of the trauma that he experiences with his mother. So again, he faces the world very rich, very stubborn, as is his wife. So she is mine, and you ain't going to say nothing wrong to her. Well, I'm going to gore you to death. Now you did, okay, I'm going to gore you. And he's using the mind, okay? He's using the power of Scorpio. Okay, so again, he lives on foreign lands, okay? The 9th house, traditionally, 7, 8, 9, lives in foreign land with his wife. He has his wife's house around here in Canada, I think. He's a king on the 10th house in China. It's obvious. It's absolutely obvious if you pay attention, okay? All right, so we understand that. And again, remember, Leo rules France and Italy. So it has a very, very strong energy connected to Canada or France. All right, and as far as the father is concerned, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? He loves his kids, but he's being deceived. You see that? And then let's talk about Princess Diana. Princess Diana was born in July, you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She was running after his ugly guy. He was ugly. I mean, he is ugly. To me, I'm being honest. He's not exactly attractive, but he got the money. For some reason,
Wait,
people...
who? Dodi Al-Fayed or
No.
Charles?
Lady Diana was married to Charles.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Charles was the
Right.
one you're saying was unattractive.
Right. She was infatuated with him. And that's why sometimes you have an ugly guy like me with pretty girls like you. It's not physical. It's
Must be the eyes.
chemistry. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
Okay. All I'm trying to say, guys, is that water signs attract themselves. Okay. And I'm sure Fayed had some Pisces or Scorpio in him anyway. So all I'm trying to say, Prince Charles was a Scorpio, and he was born a Scorpio dragon's tail. The tail of Prince Charles is here. Now look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The tail of the dragon in the area of love, romance, and children for Princess Diana is in Scorpio. That's why he killed her. Do you understand the attraction? Fatal attraction. When you have the tail of the dragon, it's like my ex-wife, okay? She was born in May, and the guy that she messed up with was born in September, and he had the tail of the dragon. It's exactly the same thing that Prince Charles and Princess Diana is fatal attraction. You cannot think, you don't know what's going on. That person is a magnet. You're supposed to be with that person. Your rationale disappear, and that person at the end either drop you, like this guy dropped my wife, or kill you, like Prince Charles killed his wife.
Is that like O.J. Simpson, DT?
I was just thinking the same thing. We were just going to say the same thing. Sorry.
That's okay. Now, O.J. Simpson was born in July. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He became a Scorpio in the affairs of love and romance. Remember, it's the same thing. Okay, remember the axis. Okay, you bring that here too. Okay, so basically, since he was born with the tail of the dragon in Gemini, O.J. Simpson. Okay, 7, 8. He killed 2 people. You see, 7, 8. He killed his wife, and he killed the younger boyfriend. 8th house, death, Gemini. He killed 2 people, and he had 2 for attorney. He had 2 or 4 judgment. It's a long story. So, but you understand what I'm trying to say, I hope. And if you don't just yet, it will make sense as we go along.
I think there's also been, I don't know how to put it, but I've heard that, I haven't read the book yet, but apparently there was someone that might have helped him commit the crime as well.
No, he doesn't need any help. Believe me, the stars don't lie. This guy is big. He's huge. He was a football player. Just look at the stars. Don't look at the conspiracy. Look at the stars. There's 2 people in the death house, and he's a jewel on top of that because his tail of the dragon is there. Okay, so he lied, he adapted, and he killed 2 people because it's written in light. You don't have to go anywhere else. Yes, what's going on, Doug?
I wanted you to finish, but I wanted to ask a question when you were done.
Well, let's say, go ahead. You can ask your question.
Going back to Prince Charles real quick, something just dawned on me. You were saying earlier in the evening, like romantically, Cancers kind of chase after Scorpios, Scorpios after. Um, and you were saying Diana was a Cancer, but so is Camilla Parker Bowles. She's also
Well,
so.
thank you for bringing this to the class. You see, it reinforced my teaching. It reinforced what you're learning is real. So it's
Camilla
very,
was a Cancer, he said.
She's yeah.
Okay.
okay. So the attraction is well past your 5 limited human senses, as I said. If you respect and read that the way I do, you will see bypass the traditional thinking, and you will see bypass the physical manifesto. It's just the stars. They talk so loud. They talk so loud to me. Okay, and you're going to learn how to do that too. All right, let's go into the 11th house of a Scorpio. Okay, what traditionally rules the 11th house?
Aquarius.
There you go. Okay, so this is the house of wishes and friends. And now your Scorpio is going to be extraordinarily what? Tell me what he's going to be with his friends.
Picky.
There you go. Critical, picky. Oh, you said you're going to be here at 12 o'clock. It's 12:01. What the hell have you been? Because I've been here 5 minutes before the time we're supposed to meet. That they are fanatical with their friend. They have very, very high expectation. They are very judgmental. You don't deserve my friendship. You didn't pass my test. Get out of here. Sting you to death. Go. So they are very, very critical. Their wishes is for purity. They want to have a pure wife. They want to have a pure friend. Their wish is all about being anal to the extreme. And the sad reality is perfection don't freaking exist. So they're constantly losing friends because the high Virgo expectation for perfection in every way, shapes, or form with their friends. Okay, follow me? So at the same time, this is the groups area. The 11th house rules groups and friends, new wishes. Okay. They have also, through the world of Pisces, a wishes for learning everything that is spiritual, mystical, or if you swim downstream, religion. Okay. Just bring in that house here. I don't want to bring in the juice yet, but I'm starting to prompt you how to read both sides. Okay. So for now, let's stay within the world of Virgo. It is also the sign who regulates natural healing. So there are Scorpio that may be traditional doctors, but part of their wishes is to make sure you're healthy, you're in good health. And if the traditional way don't work, they could go into natural healing. They could use it to make sure, because their wish is to make sure that you're healthy. Okay.
Dr. Jerry, just a question. So what you're saying is that with the opposite sign, their wishes are for the friends to be healthy. Is that it?
Yeah, Virgo.
Okay.
Virgo rules perfection and health.
DT, are they also very selective on their friends?
Oh, you cannot say that better. You said it better than me. They are very selective. They are highly critical with their friend. You better be on time. You better be, when you say something, you better mean it. Okay. If not, you're going to have a problem. Okay, with your friend. They're going to clean you. That's why they're the cleaner and the cleanser. That's why a lot of Scorpio are also what you call that when they work for the mafia. Okay, they're called the cleaner. They're being sent by mafioso head to kill. Okay, it's just the cleansing. They're cleansing all that. We are part of the group. We are part of the Al Capone family. Okay. And then one of these guys is a snitch, you got to go and clean it. So he goes and kill.
So you're saying if one of their friends isn't to their liking in whatever
because the group
reason, they'll actually could kill them.
That's exactly what it is. I took the example of Al Capone. Al Capone was a mafioso. It's a family. Okay. It's a family. It's a group. Okay. And Scorpio will respect the rules. They will not go outside because they expect the same thing from you. So if one of the guys doing something wrong, okay, and the snitch does something wrong, the group is now dirty. Remember, Aquarius rules groups, wishes, and friends. So he goes and clean it. He cleans, killing. Okay.
So if someone were to have that set of stars as a Scorpio. And if they were to say have like a roommate, for instance, or a girlfriend or a spouse that was say not clean enough for them, that they could literally just kill them just for that specific reason
Well,
alone.
that's exaggerating a little bit, but I'm telling you, since Scorpio is black and white and is the sign who rules the mafia, sign who rules the killers, serial killers, the doctors, depending if you are the eagle or if you are the snake or the lizard, you are going to do the job that you were
Well,
ordered to do to clean because the group is dirty. Okay.
the reason I asked that though is because Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito was OCD, they said, and that he was a
Okay.
Scorpio and killed her.
Right. Let me go back to her. She was a Pisces, right? That's
Mhm.
why I knew he was a Scorpio. I knew it. She was a Pisces. Okay. And I said, he's a Scorpio, he killed her. I knew about her because I had a date of birth, found it, and that I look at the stars and I knew it was a Scorpio. Okay. Like I did with the other Brian. But what happened is she was born with the moon, which is the emotional response to life. We didn't talk about it. She was born with the moon in Aries. Okay. And she was born with the tail of the dragon in Virgo. So she was very fussy, very picky, very detail oriented. And she didn't like him being messy, whatever it is. And then we would have to put the chart in front of us. I told you, if you have somebody that you want to discuss, a famous case you want to discuss, just write it down. And then when comes the time, let's put it there. And I can show you how to read a killer or not. All right, let's go back. I want to stay with that realm here. All right, so let's go to the subconscious. At the subconscious level, what is Scorpio literally aiming at? Is aiming at justice, balance, and harmony. You do something wrong to me, I'm going to do something wrong to you. They are at the subconscious level geared by the law. They know the law. They are stupid. And then that's why this killer was, as a Scorpio, involved in learning the law. He wanted to learn the law, but his motive was hidden and deceptive, because what rules the 12th house traditionally?
Pisces.
Okay, he was swimming downstream. Okay, and it's all related to love, being loved or not being loved. Okay, it's pretty deep stuff. So when you look at it at the subconscious level, a Scorpio wants love, balance, harmony, justice, and respect the law. That's the ego. That's why they become FBI agents. They are
That like
motivated.
an eye for an eye, DT? An eye for an eye?
You can say that. Yes, absolutely. And if this balance is offset, it offsets everything. At the subconscious level, they want a partner. You see, Libra was marriage and partnerships. Okay, at the subconscious level, they are very unhappy by themselves. They need to have a commitment. Libra commit, sign contract. So if he's a single guy, okay, and he's a lizard, again, his emotion, he wants love, he becomes a bull, he goes the wrong way. He starts to kill. And he learns the law in secret. The 12th house rules secret. Hidden enemies, the hidden life. It's very deep and mysterious, but it could also be deceiving and deceptive and hidden. That's why he wanted to learn the law, because he was motivated in so many ways sexually, okay, to find a partner. And I'm telling you, he was, I told you before the law, before the coroner and the news media speak about it, I knew that this guy was a Scorpio, and I knew that he was connecting with his victim, especially one which was very attracted to, the one that I mentioned, the little blonde. If you read my newsletter, she's a Gemini, right on his 8th house of death. She's the one who became the catalyst of the killing. But again, this is so advanced. I don't expect you to really relate to me just yet. Okay. But imagine
she was
again.
also a writer. She was doing this blog when they were traveling.
Oh no, that was Gabby. That was Gabby.
No,
Gabby, sorry.
that was Gabby, and also different. We're talking about the other guy who killed
Yes.
the five kids. Okay, so he wanted to learn the laws because he had a hidden motive. The subconscious is all about hidden. You can also be deceptive if you swim downstream. Okay, his
Keith,
motivation was
from
not
my
real.
understanding, sorry to interject here, is it, I mean, is the Scorpio spiritually dead, so to speak? Is it very
Oh
difficult?
no. This sign rules metaphysics and witchcraft. They regenerate. My first wife married me because she wanted to learn all about me, about what I know. She was a Taurus. She faces the world as a Scorpio. She was extraordinarily spiritual because she was born with the tail of the dragon in Scorpio, right in the seventh house of marriage. That's why after 12 years, she killed me. She disappeared. You know the situation I told you earlier. Okay.
Please run that part again about what you said in relation to Maddie and Brian Cornerberger. Her
Coburger.
something was on his eighth house of death again. What was on his eighth house of death?
The little blonde that I wrote about, and I said
Madison.
Okay, the little blonde. She was born in June, and she had a bunch of planets in Gemini, and that is in Brian's eighth house of death. So she's the one that he was sexually incredibly attracted at the sexual level. Doesn't have to be through the fifth house. Okay, the attraction is weird when it comes to the world of Scorpio. But who knows? Maddie might have the moon in Pisces, the rising in Pisces, which contribute to the attraction. But the death, the energy of death came from here. That's the death house, and she was a Gemini, and she had a bunch of planets on this eighth house of death. And she might also have had the tail in there. I don't know.
Okay.
And that is energy that has to display at the end, but the sad reality of being murdered. No accident.
Did the guy have like, what was the relation to him and the Reptilius? Was that?
Well, again, anytime you take drugs, legal or illegal, you are feeding the Reptilius. And now you already are. If you're a Scorpio, you already have a direct connection with the Reptilius. That's why Scorpio kill for nothing. Remember? Okay. So the relationship with Scorpio, the Reptilius, is like bread and butter. So more than any other sign of the zodiac, they are susceptible to respond to the negative energy induced by the Reptilius and the body, the mind, and the soul. And remember, wherever you have Scorpio, that's where you become the killer or you become the healer. Okay, that's where you can be directly touched by the Reptilius. Also, if you don't know about it. But most of all, the Reptilius will use their goodies: drugs, alcohol, pot, drinking, smoking, sex, orgies. They will use anything.
Media.
Anything. It doesn't matter. Anything, as long as they produce the result is fear, insecurity, chaos. That's the juice. That's what they need to survive. So the more they can stimulate that negative energy, the more food they have. It's like fleas on a dog. Okay, if you constantly,
it's also like satanic.
It is black magic. It's all about using.
I'm sorry, I just had to throw that out there because it's like I get that energy. Unfortunately, like I understand that energy, and I have that energy around me at times, and like it's without saying the word evil, that's part of what it is.
It is. But do not only throw the baby with the water. You have to remember, day, night, up and down, black and white, front to back. You have to remember the lizard and the eagle. Don't put all the Scorpio.
Okay. I know you're telling the whole class, but I definitely know because I'm raising a Scorpio, and not only that, he's 21 now. He just got his first job. He's doing really well, but he also has special needs, and he is a Scorpio. So he's taken my full attention as a parent for 21 years.
Oh, well, you bet.
Now I'm starting to be able to get a little rest. So yeah, they're very strong people.
Well, yeah, as far as your son is concerned, I did his chart. He's got a tail in Aquarius. Remember?
No, honey. That's Caroline.
No, I haven't gotten mine done yet.
I'm sorry. Okay, I was mixing because
you're mixing her with Coley.
Right, because I was saying to Coley's son, you got to be careful. The tail of the dragon, when you were born, is in Aquarius, and that means the problem will always be with your friends, and then he's attracted. This is how it is. It's magnetism. So hopefully he's an eagle. He will grow out of it. And
I've been talking to him about being an eagle for a very long time, and I always remind him. And the last time I reminded him, he made a joke out of it because he thought, just to make me, realize, Mom, come on, like I am an eagle. No, he's wonderful, but what a handful he was in so many ways, and spiritually so many ways.
Right.
The stuff you're talking about with Scorpio is so deep.
Oh my
so
gosh.
strong.
Yes.
And nothing you're saying is an exaggeration. It's all exactly what it is.
Exactly. I mean, you're flying with an eagle here, or you're flying with a lizard. Okay. And you're not going to fly with a lizard. You're going to run on the ground like a snake. Okay. So that's all you're going to have. You're going to have the best, or you're going to have the worst. And then you want to be prepared. Now, the rest of the chart, we play an important part because when you have a teen, the moon is affecting that teen all the way to puberty before the rest of the chart kicks in. Okay. All the rest of the planets start to activate this kid. Okay. But it's only after puberty that the rest of the chart starts to turn him into the eagle or the lizard. Okay. But all the way to puberty is controlled by his moon, his natal moon. So if he has the moon in Scorpio, then good luck to you. It's a long story.
Is that standard for all DT, for all signs?
I'm sorry. I just was going to say, like, I don't think he has the moon in Scorpio, but I have.
No. I took an example. Yeah.
But
Let me give
I
you.
was just wondering to myself, like, what is my son's? And then
Right. Let me give you an example of the moon in Scorpio. Okay. Marilyn Monroe, she was born in June. Okay. All right. So she was born with the moon in Scorpio. Okay. The moon represents the home area, the domestic scenery. How many husbands did she sting to death? 7, 8?
Wait, are you thinking about not Marilyn Monroe? You're thinking about Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor was a Pisces. Marilyn Monroe was Gemini. Excuse me. She was a Pisces. Okay. And she had the moon in Scorpio. Okay. Right here. 7, 8, 9. Okay. And that is the worst position for the moon to be, because the moon traditionally is dignified, which means she's the best into Taurus, because Taurus is stability, home, family, security, while Scorpio is all about being horny, sex, and killing. And that's why in fact, my first wife is a Pisces with the moon in Scorpio. After a year of marriage, she told me, I don't want to be with you anymore. Find someone else. You need to go. And the government is going to take care of me and the child. She just tell me as it is. And I was shocked. She killed me, literally. She destroyed my heart because I did nothing wrong. But it's because of her and the trauma that I went through after a year working my ass off for my family that she stung me to death. Then I realized again, Elizabeth Taylor, thank you, Taranya, for reminding me. Elizabeth Taylor has the same chart. So I associated and I find out that Elizabeth Taylor has been married 7 or 8 times and she stung all these people because the moon, which is the domestic area, is into the sign of death. That's the fall. The moon is in fall. The moon is dignified in Taurus. Best position, worst position. Understand? Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to talk about the moon next time we come back. Okay. But I'm just giving you an hint of what the moon can do, okay, as far as Scorpio is concerned. So we've been through the belt of the zodiac as far as the world of Scorpio is concerned. Okay, now remember, if you are flying with an eagle, you're going to be blessed in so many possible ways because they can be fantastic partner, fantastic husband, incredibly productive, wonderful kids if they fly with the eagle, or they can be completely and entirely the opposite if the reptilians got them. And that can be playing technology. They can hijack kids through technology, especially Scorpio, because at home they become Aquarius. They like to play with technology, and there they connect. They have the world at their fingers, and then the imagination kicks in, okay? And then they swim downstream. There's so many variations. You just have to use your intuition as I'm trying to stimulate your own intuition in translating those energy in each one of these houses. As long as you know the housing system, okay? And I will go back non-stop for months, for days to come, to make sure you get it. And you're going to start to get a picture of this housing system. And then once you start with any sign, okay, like we did Scorpio, that's where the house number 1 is. And you have to refer to the superimposing chart. When I say house number 3, for example, okay, 1, 2, 3. You start with this 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, Dr. Turi told me we always start with Aries. What is the 3rd house of a Scorpio? So you okay, Gemini communication, duality, intellectual, you know, all over the place. And then he's a Scorpio 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's a Capricorn. Oh, so that's far from being a Gemini. He's down to earth, he's practical, he's an engineer, he's planning. You see what I'm saying? So let's say you do the chart of a Cancer and you want to know, okay, why the hell was Tom Cruise going crazy on this movie about COVID? Some of the stuff in the movie theater on the ground did not wear a mask, and he went totally berserk. Why? Because he was born in July. So how does he think? 1, 2, 3. Oh, he thinks like a Virgo. He's fussy. He's picky. He doesn't want any disease. He's a perfectionist. That's why he was screaming at everybody and he's afraid of disease. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And why has he got so much money? Hey, look, he's a king. God wants him to shine with the Leo area. Okay, you want to know how his Sagittarius think and how he talk? I'm focusing on the 3rd house because that's communication house. Okay, Dr. Turi says to go into the 3rd house to find how somebody think. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Aries, Gemini, communication. So that's the 3rd house. I want to know how he thinks. So I count 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Aquarius. And that's why maybe he's telling me he wants to travel the world. He wants to go to Japan. He wants to go to Asia. He wants to go all over the place. Oh, he's a Sagittarius. That's half a man and half a horse. The horse means he's constantly in motion. You see, Gemini, constantly moving. And then the bow and arrow, he wants to learn and he wants to teach through traveling. And his mind is all about traveling. This is why Spain and Portugal, which are Sagittarius country, okay, affect the people that are in those countries to travel the world. So look, 1, 2, they're smart. They use the money from the government so that they can travel. Okay. And what they're going to do, they're going to build a church. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Spaniards and the Portuguese went all the way to North of America, to South of America, where the disappeared civilization reside. They destroyed the temple and they imposed Christianity upon the Indians. You see, that's where they live. They live in their churches. That's why California has so many churches. Before it becomes American, Mexican, they build missions all over the place. You see, the Spaniards, because they build church and that's where they are. That's what they do. In the 5th house of speculation, they want to conquer. What do they use? They use the bow, they use the arrow, they use the gun, they use the knife, they use the sword. There you go, the conquistadore. You see, the 5th house, we're going to go, that's speculated. Let's take a chance. Let's go on the other side of the world. And then, of course, doing so, they rape everything and they make a lot of money in the process. They service the world. They become the bull when it comes to do whatever they want to do. Okay. In the 7th house, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. Okay. Oh, well, we're going to sign a treaty with you because you're an Indian. We're going to give you the reservation, but meantime, you're going to screw them all up. Okay. So, and then you're going to poison them by bringing your virus in the lungs. All the Indians died because of the conquistador and the Spaniards bringing the flu to South of America when it did not exist. You see? Okay. All right. Now we're going to go to the 9th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th house. Starting with Aries. Oh, foreigners, foreign land. That's why Sagittarius live on foreign ground. They build their home, their family. Cancer, they feed, they protect on foreign ground. Okay. And again, in the 9th house, 7, 8, 9, on foreign ground, they shine. They go back to the queen and the king with all the gold that they stole. Okay. It's going back basically from those foreign ground with all this gold, with all this wealth, and bring it to the queen or the king of Spain and Portugal. Okay, and in their career, they are perfectionists. In other words, they want purity. They don't like the Indians. They are racist. You see, that's the career, and it's what they did to Pisces, which is religion. Okay, so our career, we're going to purify everything. We're going to turn these Indian into religious fanatics. Okay. Oh, okay. So now we're going to go into wishes. Oh, we sign a contract. We sign a contract with the government to make money. Okay. So justice, balance, and harmony is part of our wishes to bring balance and harmony and teach the laws that we believe to the Indians and forget about their rites, their rituals, their family. Who cares? And at the subconscious level, what do they want? Oh, power, money. We want to rape all these people. We want to control them. Scorpio at the subconscious level. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just read Sagittarius objectively.
Totally.
You see what it means to channel properly an information. I took Spain and Portugal because I know those countries are Sagittarius. That's why they run. See, they go foreign land. See, foreigners, foreign land and religion. That's why the Spaniards did. And sad enough, because Sagittarius was foreigners in foreign land, they end up on foreigners in foreign land and destroy all this old foreign disappear civilization. Or the Indians, there you go. The Indians, that was the soul's purpose, to look for the Indians, to travel the world, to establish church and live in church. Long story.
That was really deep.
Do you enjoy that?
Yes.
Right, that was a good run.
That kind of blew me away. I mean,
is it okay? Because I can't hear Carolyn very well on your. Can we turn her mic up some way?
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Muted.
Not very clear. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'll get a headset. Sorry.
Yeah, they're definitely. Sometimes I have a problem understanding some of you. Some of you are as clear as crystals, but some other students come on really, really gloomy. Pisces. So try to get your technology together so it won't conflict with the rest of the class. Okay. Okay. Now it's time to ask you some questions. Okay. We're gonna go back to the traditional zodiac. So what I'd like you to do is to close your eyes, okay? And just not cheating, just close your eyes and tell me what sign rules the 10th house.
Capricorn.
Yeah.
Rania, you're the best. But let other people speak.
Yes.
Your husband is there to teach you all day long. It's not fair. You're ahead of all these people.
Tarania needs to mute.
Okay.
She got the answers.
No, she can talk, but then she's competitive. You know, she's really good at what she does. She loves the
I'm
job.
teasing.
I know. Okay, so now keep your eyes closed and tell me which sign control the 11th house.
Aquarius.
Perfect. Whomever said that and didn't start to build a good reflex. Okay, what does the 5th house control? Which sign control the 5th house? Not you.
Leo.
Perfect. Okay, let's go into the world of Taurus. Which house control the world of Taurus? You have 12 houses.
Second.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, you're doing good. Okay, what is the opposite of the sign of Cancer?
Capricorn.
Perfect. Perfect. What is the opposite of the sign of Libra?
Pisces.
Nope.
Taurus.
Nope.
Aries.
Aries. Okay.
Aries. Okay.
Oh, you got it. Keep your eyes closed. No
Opposite.
cheating. Okay. What is the planet that rules the sign of Pisces?
Neptune.
Perfect. Okay. What is the opposite sign of Gemini?
Sagittarius.
Perfect. Okay. What rules the 6th house? Which sign?
Virgo.
And
Virgo.
Mercury.
Perfect. That is so good. So far, you guys, I could never have done that with you the first day, right? Keep your eyes closed, okay? No cheating. Tom, are you here?
I am here.
Oh, you're listening. Okay. All right. This one is for you, my brother. Okay. Are you ready?
Okay.
Tell me what is your 10th house?
What is my 10th house?
Yes.
Let me see.
No. Close your eyes.
My eyes are closed. I'm going back through the signs there with that thing. 10th house is Sagittarius.
No.
Nope. Capricorn. No, let's see. Aquarius, Capricorn. Never mind. Scorpio.
Okay. Okay. Now, Catherine, tell me what month were you born, honey?
Aquarius.
Okay, you tell me what is your sixth house for Aquarius? What sign is that for the sixth house?
Oh dear. Virgo.
Nope.
I know this one.
A Cancer.
There you go. There you go. So you count, okay? And that's good to count, but you should know it right away. Okay. Catherine, tell me, what month were you born, honey?
March.
Okay, what is your 11th house?
What is my what house?
11th house.
11th house would be one back from Aquarius.
Yes.
Would
Aquarius.
yeah,
You
Aquarius.
Said, you said it right. This is good. This is good. Okay, Larry, are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay, what month were you born?
In August.
Okay, you're a Leo. Okay, I understand. Tell me, what is your 11th house, being a Leo?
My 11th house would be Gemini.
There you go. So that's the friend you're going to attract as part of your wishes, either to run or to write or to communicate. You're doing very well. Okay. So, William, okay, what month were you born?
April.
Okay. You tell me, what is your 9th house?
Sagittarius.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's exactly what I hope. Plan. Okay. So, Terania, I know you're in Aries. What is your 6th house?
Virgo.
Oh my God, there you go. You see, that's why she's so fussy, so picky, and run after me every night to eat all these pills and this oil, whatever, fish oil. It's terrible. Make me throw up sometimes. Yeah, I want to keep you young and healthy, my honey. There you go. So, okay, so keep your eyes closed still. Okay, I want you to tell me, in reference to the world of Sagittarius, what is the planet that controls the sign of Sagittarius? Now, anybody can answer. The first one is a good one.
Jupiter.
Perfect. Okay. What is the planet that rules the sign of Libra?
Venus.
Good. What is the planet that controls the sign of Taurus?
Venus.
No. Venus.
Venus.
Venus. Remember, there are two signs that are controlled by the same planet. That's Libra and that's Taurus. Okay. All right. As far as Neptune is controlled, is concerned, what is the worst of this planet?
Swimming downstream.
Well, let someone else answer, honey.
Pisces.
Yeah.
Deception.
The worst of the sign of Pisces. What could it be?
Drugs.
Addiction.
Alcohol.
Drugs. That's perfect. Alcohol. It doesn't matter. It's a key word. Okay. But
Spirits.
You see, it means the same thing. When I say alcohol, deception, drugs, pot, we're swimming downstream. That's what I want you to captivate in your head. Don't look. Keep your eyes closed, please. The sign of Cancer is controlled by what planet?
Moon.
The moon. It's not a planet. It's a luminary, but we call it a planet. Okay. All right. How does a Leo think? In what sign is the 3rd house of a Leo?
Virgo.
Libra.
No, Libra is the right answer. You have to count Leo as 1. August, September, October. Yeah, you go this way. You don't go through the sun. You go by the months. Okay. Wow. Leo is August, 3rd house, August, September, October, Libra, bam, bim, bam. That's how we want it. Okay, I want to know the 5th house of a Scorpio, which control the 5th house. What sign and what planet control the 5th house of a Scorpio? Now.
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Pisces.
No.
Pisces.
Some of you have forgotten to count Scorpio as 1. Okay, Scorpio 1, Sagittarius 2, Capricorn 3, Aquarius 4, Pisces 5. Okay, don't forget to count the first sign as 1. Let's do it again. What is the 8th house for a Gemini? Go to the opposite. The opposite.
Capricorn.
It's Capricorn. Okay, let's do it this way. That's going to be better. What is the opposite of Sagittarius?
Gemini.
Gemini. Okay.
Gemini.
So you already are in the 7th house. Okay. Now, if I ask you what is the 8th house for a Sagittarius, you just one more, and that would be what?
Capricorn.
No. I didn't ask for the 2nd
Leo.
house. I asked for the 8th house of a Sagittarius. So if the
Cancer.
7th house is Gemini, what do you have after June?
Cancer.
There you go. That's why it's important to go from immediately. What is the opposite of Taurus?
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
What is the opposite of Virgo?
Pisces.
What is the opposite of Leo?
Aquarius.
What is the opposite of Cancer?
Capricorn.
What is the opposite of Gemini?
Sag.
Sagittarius.
What is the opposite of Taurus?
Scorpio.
What is the opposite of Aries?
Libra.
Libra.
What is the opposite of Pisces?
Virgo.
Virgo.
What is the opposite of Aquarius?
Leo.
Leo.
What is the opposite of Capricorn?
Cancer. Cancer.
Okay, you see, that's how you build a reflex. Because when you know the opposite, you are automatically, you can open your eyes now, you are automatically in the 7th house. Okay, the opposite is number 7. I'm a Pisces. The opposite of Pisces is Virgo. Okay, that's the 7th house. That is a rule that you have to practice. What is the opposite of Aries, Libra? What is the opposite of Capricorn, Cancer? What's the opposite of Leo, Aquarius? What's the opposite of Libra, Aries? You see, I don't even think it's there. Okay, and I know that is the 7th house, but I have years of experience. You are trying to pick up, 73 years of my life here. So I understand it takes time, but don't panic. Don't go home and say, oh gosh, I'm behind. I don't understand. He's speaking too fast. It's not going to sink. Don't do that. Okay, do not do that because you are learning. You do not know. You're already in the process of learning. You're doing phenomenal. Imagine the first day, if I ask you what's the opposite of Capricorn, all the class, you'll be thinking half an hour and you never give me the answer. Okay, so you are making progress. Slowly but surely, you are building that reflex. Okay, so practice the opposite. Okay. Practice the opposite in your head, and it's going to become so easy. Because tomorrow, or after tomorrow, I'll prompt you again. What is the opposite of this? That. Okay, let's do it this way again. What is the planet to control Scorpio now?
Pluto.
Good. What is the planet who controls Sagittarius?
Jupiter.
Perfect. Capricorn.
Saturn.
Perfect. Aquarius.
Uranus.
Pisces.
Neptune.
Aries.
Mars.
Taurus.
Venus.
Gemini.
Mercury.
Cancer.
Moon.
Leo.
Sun.
Virgo.
Mercury.
Libra.
Venus.
There you go. You see, this is how you build a reflex. You go through the belt of the zodiac. Okay. Now, I want you to close your eyes again. Okay. And I want you to picture in your head. Picture the sign of Aries. What do you see?
Mars.
Mars? Or
Red.
what is the animal?
Ram.
There you go. Okay. Close your eyes again. And then picture in your head the sign of Capricorn. What do you see?
Goat.
Goatfish.
Now you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. If do you see the sign of Aquarius in your head? What do you see?
The waves.
The water bearer.
Okay. Pisces is pretty obvious. It's 2 fish fishing. It's going in different directions. Okay. Taurus, you see the bull in your head. Okay. Gemini, you have the brother, the sister, the male and the female. Cancer is the crab. Okay. Leo, of course, is the king of the zodiac. The Virgin Mary is that angel perfectionist wearing green. And then Libra is the scale. The Scorpio is the stinger. Sagittarius is the Indian, half a man and half a horse. That is in your head. Okay. So this is why sometime you're going to go to bed and you're going to work again. In your subconscious, this is being printed in your subconscious. When you go to bed, don't think why do you think I do the class in the evening? Not in the morning. Because I want to get the best of you when you halfway tired. So you take it with you in your bed. You take it in your dream. And your subconscious is going to solidify all this information. Okay. You have to picture in your head the wheel, because that's all you're going to have when you meet somebody at a pool or anywhere. Okay. Now, I want you to come up one at a time how you are going to find out the golden key. We already discussed the pool. Okay. You're sitting at the pool. Oh my gosh, I love the water. Maybe because I'm a Pisces. When were you born? Okay. So that is out of the way now. I want you to give me an idea on how, and anyone can start, how you're going to get the golden key in any situation, because you're going to be in the situation. All right. Anybody hit me?
I'm not even sure what you mean by the golden key, Dr. Turi.
The key is find out the month of birth of a person. That gives you the key to find house number one. Because without
I got news for you. I flat out ask people.
Yeah, what's your sign?
Well, you could do that if the person is religious. You see how you're going to be treated. I tried it. Believe me. There's some people who say, what the hell? I'm not going to say that's against God. And then what are you going to do?
Well, I'll tell you what I do. I've had this happen to me before when I talk about astrology and people are like, oh, well, you know, I don't know if that's right for you to follow. I said, here's the deal. Everything in life can be used as a tool to supplement and help you in your analysis. You don't have to say that I worship it and follow it exclusively, but you do need to look at it as another tool in life that you utilize to be sharp in your assessment.
Now, honey, you're going through your tail. You're being confrontational. You want to avoid that.
No, I'm not being confrontational. I say that intellectually. That's an intellectual. Let me finish what I'm saying, please.
There you go.
It is an intellectual commentary about how I view things. And if
I
someone
understand
asks me,
that.
that's my response.
Okay, I understand that. But if that person has $10 million for you, you have to learn to compromise, and you have to go behind the door, because there are people that are not as smart as you. They don't rationalize like you. They're not as intelligent as you. They're not as curious as you. Now,
okay, and I get that, but for you to ask a question like that, also, that's very difficult to answer, because in order to answer that, you need to learn a little bit about this person so you know what the trigger is before you ask that question.
That's a good way. And usually that person, the problem, that person is a stranger. Okay, you don't want to learn about this person because you already know if you get the key. That's what I'm trying to say. So you got to do whatever you can, but that depends on your drive to know that person. If he's an idiot, okay, a religious fanatic, who cares? But if it's somebody that is so important for your career, for a job, for money, for God knows what the excuses are, okay, you don't want to try to rationalize with a donkey. And that might make sense to you, okay? Not everybody is as sharp as you. Nobody is as curious as you. I know where you are. The reason why you're here is because we all are spiritual and we are smart. We all vibrate at the same speed. But you deal with a religious fanatic or somebody which is scared, you're not going to get the key. In other words, you lose. That's not what I intend to teach you. You got the win. You've got to get that key. Okay, let me give you an example. And I'm taking out of the room, okay? Situation can get much, much more difficult because now this person happens to be in a public place, or you're in a shopping center, okay? You're in a shopping center, you're in the aisle, this person is shopping, and for some reason, you know that person has something that you want. Might be it's love, might be it's got a fantastic business that you are interested in. This is life. This is life, this reality. Okay, so asking, you don't know nothing about this person, like you say, okay? And if it's somebody like you and me, I'm gonna jump on you and say, hell yeah, baby, I'm a Pisces, let's talk. That's easy, you got it made. Okay, now if the person is not like us, not advanced, you've got to corner and go in a way that you get the key. So how do you do this? You're shopping, you're in an aisle, never seen that person from Adam and Eve, you don't know how the hell, but you need to know for whatever reason, as mentioned earlier. So the imagination is yours. I know I will do it. I will do it like Terania did it with a bunch of kids in the shopping center and get all those kids to talk about astrology. Do you remember, Terania? And she even videotaped those kids. But there was one or two who were very scared, very religious from what I understood, from what I saw, what you taped.
There were three. One was an atheist completely, and the other two were very religious.
And you go, and she managed to get them to communicate with her. Okay. So it doesn't matter how you're going to do it. I don't care how you do it, but I'm telling you, that person will become an open book if you get to know the month of birth. And that's what I call the golden keys. So the imagination is yours. The way you're going to go about it is yours.
Oh, which reminds me, Louis, I brought this question up to you on the first or the second night of the class, and you said that was a good question. How do you approach, okay, when you approach someone like that and say they do give you a date of birth or their birthday, how do you know if they're lying or not?
Oh, well, again, it's a chance you take.
Because so many people, they do lie about their year.
Well, then you're going to be completely wrong. And then this person is going to go the other way. You're not going to hit her. You got to be able to shock people. So sometime when I go into public place and I look at a person, I already, 90% time, incidentally, and you saw me at work, Taranya, I do it. I said, hey, were you born in December? Wow, immediately you are giving a shock to that person. So that person now is willing to listen to what you have to say. Because how the hell do you know I was born in December, in September? Okay. With practice, you're going to be able to see the person. And now we're going to come to knowing that person before you don't know nothing about this person because you've watched her. And that, again, is observation. That I relate to you now. I understand Gina. I understand Gina now. Okay. So
you're still missing that point though, because if they lie about their year, the dragon's head and tail is the most important aspect. So
yeah, but you know what, Tiranya, the dragon's head and tail, unless you have a fantastic memory and you remember the year and all the dragon, it's going to be very difficult to apply the dragon unless you have the full date of birth. Okay, when you're in a situation like I mentioned, in a shopping place or you're in a pool, whatever it is, all you have to start, okay? Because if that person tells you, okay, I was born of February 26, 1950, now you have more than the key. You have a life or his life in front of you because you remember that, you put it in your head and you go home and you do the full chart. Once you are completely educated with all the planet, this person becomes an open book. We know that, but we are not there, okay? All you have is the location of the sun sign. And that gives you house number one. And from there, you know how that person think, how that person behave, how it faces the world, how the person, you know everything about the housing system that we've been discussing. Okay? And with extreme experience, as I said, like I do, you know the person already and you approach them and say, hey, were you born in September? When I go sometime shopping with you, I say, hey, were you born in October? Or a waitress? Oh, were you born in March? Bang, bang. Oh my gosh, how do you know? And that open up. Okay. But you can also, as I said, you can be honest and very direct. And if you're lucky, you land on somebody as smart as you, and then there is a discussion going on, and then you have the key. But that is sometimes probably the most difficult thing to do to get that key.
It's not easy over here, DT. In China, they hang on to their date of birth very tightly. They never give it out. It's, it's taboo.
I have noticed a lot of famous people out there that have a high position. Many of them, date of birth, you ain't gonna find them out because they have their astrologers, okay, modern astrologers, and they are educated enough to know, even with modern astrology, the potential of what it means to have a Mercury in Pisces, in Aquarius, in Capricorn, in Leo, and that depict the thinking process. But the traditional educated modern astrologer will never read anyone through the housing system because they don't teach it. Modern divine astrology teaches you the intuitive part, like we're doing just with the first house and with all the stars. You're going to read someone with the stars as we move on into this class. Okay. So, as I said, it could be very, very difficult. Being in the middle of a shopping center and trying to find out someone's date of birth, that's going to be tricky. Then that's why I give you the worst of the worst scenario. What are you going to do? But anyway, again, it's all up to you. It's all up to the situation.
How would you do it, DT? How would you suggest in acquiring the key?
You mean in a shopping center, in a public
Yeah,
place?
in a shopping center, random.
Well, this is not exactly the place to dedicate astrology. You're not in a spiritual environment to start with. Okay, so it'd be better if you're in a social interaction. If the person has a couple drinks, it might be easier because the rationale is not there. You can't count on the alcohol to do the job for you. Okay, and people are more open when they have a few drinks, so it's much easier to engage in the conversation. But there is still ways. I mean, I don't know. I would be looking for, kind of peace, for example, and I would turn around and I said, you have to engage a conversation. Talk about the peas. Okay, I'm looking for this to be. Do you know where I can find this and that? Okay, and then you see how the person reacts to you. If he look at you with a big huge smile, okay, this person has an open spirit. And if you feel intuitively that this person is kind of private, the Scorpio or Capricorn or very private, you're gonna feel the wall, and you don't want to pass that. Okay, so again, there is situation where only your observation will pay off. The way the person dress, the way the person talk, the way the person walk, behave, depict also, even that gait, okay, the way they walk, depict certain signs. Again, Taurus physically, they have a big bones. They're usually short, big shoulder. Gemini is skinny like hell. Okay. And they are fast. Okay. Virgo have magnetic eyes like Scorpio. They are pretty easy to detect. I mean, this is all about experiences. And you got to go about the best way you think will work for you. Simple as that.
Hey, Dr. Turi, can I bring up a little experience with you and my daughter, Katie? You remember, because this is a good example of that, because if you remember when we first met with you in Terrania there, and I was telling Katie that you dealt with astrology, he's like, oh, really? Okay, well, let me ask a question to him there. And she, without you even know what she was there, in her little sarcastically smart alecky way, says, so, Dr. Curry, what's my sign? And you looked at her 1 second there, and one of the reasons why is because, like you said, the magnetic eyes is like, I'll bet you're a Virgo, because, and you listed off the various different aspects of her, and after picking her mouth up off the floor, says, yeah, don't mess with Dr. Turi. He got you.
There you go. Again, that's experience. And I believe every one of you is able to do that once you get that reflex. That's why.
That's correct.
You got to be patient. You got to be patient. Again, you're going to go to bed tonight. You're going to, your subconscious is going to work on your favor. Everything will fall in place in time. Okay. All right, guys. We've been here for 2 hours and 18 minutes altogether. One more time. I want to thank you for your trust in my work. Okay. Go and relax. Close your eyes tonight. Practice a little bit because I'm going to hit you again sometime when we come back.
Oh, and everyone, tomorrow, which is the first Wednesday of February, we're starting at 7 p.m. So just 1 hour ahead. And for the whole month of February, it will be every Wednesday at 7. Only on Wednesdays, though. Every other day through the week, it will be 6 to 8.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. We shall see you tomorrow at 7.
Good night. Thank you, guys. Have a good night, okay?
Good night.
This was a really good one.
I am glad you enjoyed it. What do you say, Terania?
It was very good.
Yes, it was.